this is the equipment inspection apps. Same as our getting to our schedule. You go to the stardrilling.sharepoint.com. There's obviously 4 apps: rig, vehicle, NDD, and compressor. So if you open one of them, you'll find that inside there's like a list. Now that's a list of previous inspections. Don't click on that to think that that's how you do an inspection. But that if you wanted to see what the previous inspection was, you can. But basically, if we all start using this, everyone's inspections that morning will start appearing here. So pre-start for the rig. So to start a new inspection, you click on this plus symbol here. Then that just opens up a blank form. The blank form will remain blank. Now, after the first inspection of any vehicle, once of any rig or whatever, after it's first submitted, it will never be blank again because it auto-populates. But we'll go into that. So, hey, what you do is you choose your rig. Now we're going to have a sticker on the dashes and on the rigs. There are already some of them there, but we're going to redo them, and all they're going to have is RO whatever number it is, because that's the folder number. It's not the rig number, but it's just easy if you can just see RO4 to be able to find that in the list, especially with the list of vehicles. It's like 20 or 30 long. Trying to find the plant number in that list is hard, but if it just says V06, you can just go to V06 and open it up and start. So for instance, we'll go to this Fairpro SDR13 RO5. Yep. So this one's already been filled out once before, but we'll keep going. So the only thing that you'll have to fill out every single day is the hours. So say the hours, and now here on, well, first of all, we'll do from the start. So you've chosen the rig. You put in the hours. So we put in, say, 200 hours for this rig. And now the next question is, when's it due for a service? Now in brackets it says email sent if 30 hours or less than the hour meter. So that is telling an email gets sent to maintenance if a negative question is submitted. A negative answer is submitted. So if it's 30 hours or less to the service, then Rob starts getting an email every day that this is submitted. Now, see how it's white at the moment. If we were to make that less than 30 hours, so 229, it goes red. That means anything that's red is going to be a negative answer and create an email. And it's also just highlighted so you can see it. The same thing with all the questions. If see how it's got, you can't quite see it very well here. It's got an asterisk or a yes. Just a yes or no doesn't mean it's negative. It's just got an asterisk, because some negative questions have got an answer of yes. So for instance, this one, are all the wire ropes in good conditions and free of cuts and strands, blah, blah, blah. If you write yes, it goes white. If you write no, it comes up with a branching question asking you to describe what's wrong. Now, if there's writing in there and you fix the problem and you come back the next day and that writing and all that's there, if you change that to yes, it'll disappear. If you've made a mistake and you open it back up again and you hit no, it'll come back. There's just an A there for this one, but it will, once you press submit, then that writing's gone forever until you write something in there again. So if we just keep going through the questions just to get to the submit, I'll just make them all positive except for 1 or 2. You go through and you really need to do a good inspection at least once a week. At the bottom, there's a spot for just a little bit, if there's something else that the questions haven't covered, something that's broken, whatever. Again, if you put writing in there, it's going to send an email. Then the last thing is taking some photos of it. So if we attach a photo, it'll on your phone, it'll say take a photo, choose a photo, that sort of stuff. Just choose a photo. and then submit. So once you've pressed submit, it starts, it looks at it, it sends a, is it not going to work? Yep. So it sends an email at the top here. It'll join onto the list to see how it says processing. So that QR code on all of your vehicles, that doesn't go to the app. It just goes to the folder where this is going to get stored. So when you press submit, it'll send a copy of this PDF, which is getting made at the moment, which we'll have a look at in a second, to yourself no matter what. And if a negative question is answered, it'll send a PDF to Rob or myself with the answers. No, the QR code is just, you go to stardrilling.sharepoint.com. The QR code is for either the client, if they want to see your maintenance records and your inspection records, or yourself, if you want to show them, you know, it will go to the folder. So the folder here, this is the folder that holds all of the, if the internet's going to work. So every piece of plant and equipment and rig and whatever has got its own folder, and inside those folders, if you do an inspection, if I can find it's easy to do it here. Well, we just do it. That was that one. So if we open that up, in here is the inspection records, the manual for the rig, lifting records, anything that that is to do with that rig. Now on here is the daily inspection records. So that will be eventually there's going to be hundreds of records in there from, every day you submit one. And has it made it yet? Yeah. So we've just made that one and it's saved in there, and it's also sent an email to me, and it's sent an email to maintenance at Star Drilling. And if we zoom in a bit, it's not download. You can, the app, it's called Power Apps, but you can do it online as well. So see how we put that 229 in there? That's come red. And then at the bottom, we answered everything else positive. There's a picture of the photo. So photo comes up and there's a picture of the beach up near Fish Creek. So so that's how that's what what it looks like. It's just that basically a list of questions. If in here there's extra questions, the branching questions, they just get left out blank, but you can still see it just was hard to get rid of them. So but if you were to answer, they'd be in there as red. So it's easy to glance at and see if there's something negative. Now, say you come back the next day and you're ready to do the inspection again. You come back, you go, or you've taken over from somebody and you've got to do your inspection. You go to your plus one. Well, the last person to submit. So we've gone to here again. So we'll say we choose that one again. Go to GeoPro Big 3. Everything we just did automatically fills out, including the picture at the bottom. If you've taken over from someone and there's damage and you want to see what it is or whatever, you can open that up and it'll show a picture of from whoever last looked at it. It's sort of a little bit of like a handover thing. So that's the picture and that's installed every day. So basically, if we were on the rig and we knew it, we'd done the inspection the day before, we knew everything was good, you can come back here and just put your hours in and press submit, and it would submit. And then if something's come up red, like you're missing some tire, whatever, wheel nut indicators, and Rob rings and says, I'll put them on the desk, and you put them on, then you change that. And then the aim is not to be submitting this with red, because we're really going to try and keep on top of the negative reports. And if you're submitting something that you can fix yourself, that's going to cause a red email, then it's okay to do it the first day because you need to get Rob to get you some tire indicators. But the aim is to be getting your rig to be submitting without red color every single time. So yeah, that's basically how it works.
Can you amend it?
No, you have to resubmit. There was a chance for doing that, but we just thought if people get lost in that list trying to figure out which way to do it, you can just only do it by hitting the plus button. It's the only way. If you tick everything green, you will still get an email with a copy of the PDF, but Rob won't. And one will get submitted. No, that'll be, if you submit a photo, it's a red. Yeah. So, yeah, but if you submit a photo or write anything in, if it comes up red, you're sending an email, basically. So you want to submit this with no red boxes in there. Yeah. So, well, yeah. Yeah, but if, well, that should actually show up red. I have to check that. Yeah, I have to, that's actually a fault. That should come up red. That because there's a photo attached in there. It'll come up red in the PDF, but just when you're glancing it over each morning, you want to be able to easily see if there's anything red, and if it's going to send an email. So yeah, hopefully that will make our business run a bit smoother, and that's it. So from today, yep. And it'd be great if everyone could have a quick login and see if they can get it up, get the app up. So what I was going to say before is there's a Power Apps app that you can store in there, and we're also just working on being able to store that in Power Apps app so you can fill it out of range. So obviously this is not going to pop up. It's not going to pop up with the last inspections and all that sort of stuff, but you'll still be able to fill it out when you're out of range. And it'll just have your day before's one until you get into range, and then it'll insert itself into the system. So, yeah.